Hello everyone, I was fortunate enough to be able to play with the new Celebrate Core collections, and the first layout I decided to do was using the pink, the orange and some of the new earth tones core papers. I've printed some photos that I've been keeping for more than a year, and I'm quite excited to finally have papers that they are matching. I'm trimming some of the paper's border strips. I don't know if I'm going to use these in the end, but for now I'm just having a look at which ones might work with my photos. I've printed the photos smaller than a standard 10 centimeter by 15 centimeter, and now I'm just trimming off the white borders and I'm sanding the edges. You can see there what a difference the sanded edges make. I do love sanding the edges of my photos. I feel that it just pops them. Now I'm cutting all my mattings. It's a lot easier if you've got lots of photos that are the same size to simply cut the mattings and then mat all your photos. I know lots of people stick down the photos and then try and trim around the photos, but after years of always trying to find a quick solution to things, that's the one I've come up with. I decided to take out my ATG tape runner. The glue was actually quite sticky, but I loved using it again. And there you can see I'm simply matting the photos after I inked the edges with a nice blue ink, just to define the mats a little bit more, because they're just small little mats. Okay, now I'm figuring out which papers to use for the background, and I'm also just randomly trimming some paper to size. I've cut some of the journaling cards, but none of them in the end made the cut because they didn't really match the feel and the theme of the photos. I love these papers that have a third and a third and a third of a different design. I think it's fun. I don't think we always want to use a whole chevron page, but the patterns are quite nice, and I think that it just adds some interest to the pages. You can see how I've cut the blue strips just because I've got the blue from the water, and in the photos there's lots of blue. What makes this collection so nice is that all the colors are really vibrant, so you can put anything together. Now I've assembled my page and I've noticed that those flowers didn't really do it for me, so I'm taking another plain orange and I'm going to use that as my background. You can see there I'm assembling the layout again. For those of you who are worried about measurements, you can buy the sketch. It's available here on Create with Karina, so that you can see exactly what the measurements are for my papers. I'm applying Tombow adhesive to all my pieces, and I'm allowing it to become tacky, which makes it repositionable. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but this glue that I always use is really fantastic. Can't get enough of it. There I quickly took a piece of paper away just to trim the edge nicely, and this little border strip has more pink on the one side than on the other side, so I want to trim it down. I'm using my Fiskus trimmer, and I'm using a piece of washi tape or masking tape just to keep the little piece in place, and I'm simply cutting a V in it. We'll see if I use that in the end. Now I'm adhering my pieces of paper to the project to create my background. For those of you who know me, I always create a background, or mostly, and then I simply add my photos to my custom background. The fact that I've printed these photos smaller, just slightly smaller, means that I can actually fit more in on a page and still have room for maneuvering and for adding embellishments. You can see that I was going to put that blue strip vertically, but I've decided now to put it horizontally, and I just trimmed off a little edge. The new core chipboards are fantastic, which means that we can get them the whole year round. I'm going to use that Oh Happy Day for my title, and then I love those stars, and I'm also going to be painting them. I spoiled myself and I bought myself this Kuretake Ganzi Tambi watercolor set. I have been eyeing this for almost a year, and they were on promotion. I think there's still some stock left at the shop, and I bought myself a set. These paints are fabulous. As you can see, I've just opened the set for this project, and I mean the orange, pink and blue, it's as if it was made for this layout. I'm simply applying the color to my chipboard. To make it darker, you would have to wait for the first layer to just dry. There's no use applying color and color and color over something that is wet. You'll just move the ink around. To speed up the process, I'm drying it with my heat gun. There you can see how beautifully intense the colors are when I hold it over a white piece of paper. I want to apply glossy accents, anitas, or whatever you want to use over my title, but because it's purely watercolor, it will actually stain the nib of my glossy accents. So I need to seal the color in, because remember, watercolor is not permanent. I'm using the Prima Finnabar Soft Matte Gel for this purpose. Yes, some of my color will slightly lift, but it gives it a beautiful two-tone and light and dark, which enables me now to add glossy accents. You can see there I'm applying the glossy accents. I'm actually taking my time with this because it's a very detailed chipboard, and I don't want the glossy accent or anitas to go over the edges. So you can see there I've got my big toothpick thingy, and I always have that when I'm applying these products. I'm painting my stars now, just random colors, adding two tones to some of them, and I'm sealing these as well using the same process with the matte gel. Applying my Tombow, leaving it to become repositionable, and in the meantime I'm going and over to applying my flowers. I love these little flowers. They're so vibrant, and there's lots in a pack, and they're perfect for this project. So I'm simply positioning them where I think they should go, and then I'm applying Tombow glue to the back of the flowers and leaving it to also become repositionable. You can see that I'm cutting my chipboard by turning it around. It's got Tombow on the back, and simply nibbing off those little edges that keep it in place. Makes it really easy to apply these elements to your page. If you take them out of this little frame before you color them, you find that they will move around and you tend to break them. I'm simply adding my flowers to the project now. The fact that the Tombow glue has become repositionable makes it easy if you want to lift something and remove it and place it in a different area. I always like to add some of these chipboard frames to my projects if the project lends itself to it. So I'm just quickly grabbing my leftover frame and I'm painting it blue in the same manner as I did with all the other chipboard. Sealed it as well. I don't think I filmed that, and then I also covered it with anitas / glossy accents. Okay, it just gives a coherent look. I didn't put the anitas on all the chipboard elements. I actually just added it randomly so that some of the accents can be highlighted and some of them are a bit more dull. Hope you enjoyed this class. See you next time. Bye.